Hello everybody, and today we're going to be showing you how to use the gunslinger and my favorite loadout to use with the gunslinger. So I use the panic attack, which gives you more bullets per shot, 50% more bullets per shot, and it deploys 50% faster, which is really good. So if you switch to your thing and you're banging your sentry or something, then you can switch back to your panic attack and like kill your enemy, and it fires in a fixed shot pattern, which is very good. So if you're playing on a random bullet spread server, it doesn't completely mess up your shotgun shots. And it has a minus 20% damage penalty, which isn't that bad because it gives you more bullets per shot. And the successive shots become less accurate, which is probably the worst downside. So when you're shooting, it gets less accurate the more shots you hit. Or see, it's not like that bad. It's not like that noticeable, but sometimes it can really mess you up. And the gunslinger gives you more health, which is good. So you have more flexibility. Like you can go around actually shoot people without dying. And your sentry build speed is increased by 150%, which is great. So just put down a sentry and just leave it there is what you want to do with this loadout. And the third successful punch in a row always crits, which, I mean, it isn't that useful, but it's still there, which is good. If you want to like sneak up behind the enemy lines and do that. And the downsides are no random critical hits, which isn't that bad. And it replaces sentry with a mini sentry, which it's not. The mini sentry only does 48 DPS, like sustained DPS, but it's not that bad. It's not like that much of a difference, I don't think. Some people may think it's bad, but I don't think it's that bad. And basically with this loadout, it gives you more flexibility to go around and kill people. And you want to place your sentry in a smart spot where the enemy, like, when the enemy sees it, it's already built. What is what I mean by that? Like, if you put it in the water at 2 fort, they can't really see it, and when they do see it, they're probably already dead, which is good, you know. And you want to really help your team out with this loadout. You don't. It's not like you don't want to just always worry about your sentry. You want to worry about putting teleporters down, putting dispensers down in like good places, you know. So I'll put a telly in here so my team can reach the enemy lines quicker. I mean, they already have tellies, but they're not fully built. So you see what I mean? That they're just worrying about the sentry. I mean, that one's built. This guy obviously worries about his team and actually cares. You know, he wants to be good to his team, which is really good. So I think this loadout is a great loadout and a great way to play NG. So you want to place your sentries in smart spots, and you want to place your teleporters in good spots as well, so the enemy cannot see them. And if they do, it's not that bad because it only costs 50 metal. And if your sentry dies, just put it in another spot where the enemy can't see it. Put it in, carefully place it in a good spot, and yeah. So everything's reasonably cheap. Like, the sentry's 100, so if you want to place a sentry and a dispenser, you don't have to get more metal. So, like, you don't have to go resupply your metal. You can just place it there. Like, you can just place a sentry and then you can place something else, which is really good. You know? I think it's great. I honestly love this way of playing NG. It's probably my second favorite way of playing engineer. Because my first is the Rescue Ranger. I love the Rescue Ranger. Some people think the Rescue Ranger is bad. And if a spy zaps your buildings and stuff, it doesn't really matter. You just pop them down again and kill that spy with your shotgun, because the shotgun does more damage. I think it does like a teeny tiny bit more than the scout scattergun, which is really good. So you're basically a scout, but with more health, and you're a support class, which is just great. Because scout is offensive. Scout, he can sometimes be good for defense. Like sometimes, but it depends what loadout you're using. So I'll cover a scout loadout, a defensive scout loadout in the next video, if you guys want to see that. And yeah, you would just want to see my sentry's placed there, but demo is probably your only hard counter, or heavy. Heavy is very bad counter. Because with a normal sentry, usually you just fly, your sentry just kills heavies in seconds. But with this one, not really. That's not how it works. So, yeah, you want to worry about them, and sometimes you want to worry about scouts, because it only takes one shot to kill a scout, you know. To kill a mini sentry. Only takes one shot. So see this? Yeah, the demo's hard counters me, but I somehow took care of him with my shotgun. Because the shotgun is a really, really good thing about this class. I think it's probably the best thing. Because it gives you more flexibility to go around and kill people. You don't just have to stay next to your sentry 24/7. And see, my sentry's down, just pop another one up. It's really good. So yeah, see, scouts can sometimes really destroy you. Because they do, like, and soldiers. Yeah, soldiers are probably like the worst, because it only takes one shot. Soldiers and demos. Because your sentry has to be in a well-placed spot, because soldiers and demos can just one-shot your sentry. And spies, it's way quicker to kill somebody when to zap your sentry. But you always have to move around. And I might not place it there anymore, because see, they now know that is where I'm always going to place my sentry. So you really need to be really careful when you're thinking about placing your sentry, because like it can get destroyed in a couple seconds. Look at that heavy. Yeah, heavies are really bad. And sometimes, yeah, snipers as well. Pretty much every single class that does 100 damage is your counter. Because with a big sentry, you know, it doesn't really matter. So if I place my thing here, right, you have to see a sniper could snipe it there, and demo knights aren't really that bad. Or they can be an issue sometimes if they're using a weapon that does more damage, like the Scotsman Scale Cutter, and it also does random crits. I reckon they should just take away those random crits, because it sucks. Like, the move speed is a pretty bad downside, but like they just need to nerf that, take away those random crits. And maybe they should, if they are doing random crits, maybe that if they take away the random crits, maybe they should maybe put the move speed a bit down, because I played with that weapon a bit, and it's not good. I still think the Island is the best, or the Persian Persuader. So see, if I place it here, I know there's no snipers on the server, so you need to think about that, who's on their team. So like if there was a sniper there, you could just instantly snipe that. See, if you're near your sentry, you can go and fix it, but if you're not near it, you don't go across the map to risk your life and end up dying. See, soldiers and other sentries are probably your worst counter. Yeah, so like your sentry is very vulnerable, but you aren't as vulnerable. So it makes your sentry more vulnerable, but instead gives you more health, which I think is a really good trade. Like Demo Knight, see, he's alright, like he just killed me, but he basically has no range. I mean, his melee has a bit more range, which is good, but like it's not that good. I think Hybrid's probably the best version of Demon Knight, you know, because like you have range and you have a very good melee, and if you're in like a dangerous situation, you can just use your shield to get out of it. So that's about it. That's all I have to say about the Gunslinger. I may have gotten a bit off track there, but thank you for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you next video.